setting up the computer, and then we will get started. So I can see the comments and everything. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let's get started. You can see here my 6 guys, 6 Stormfans. In fact, it is 2 squads of 3. And so let's have a look at this guy here. Okay, cool. You see the pipes here. That's what I've been working on most recently. And also at the back there. In fact, so I have done the rest. Yesterday I started with the green, the medium green here, and just before the live I did the painting session, adding the first highlights. If you can compare with this one, here I go up to white. Here not yet, so I will do that now. But first I'm going to correct. So that's the second I did. So in fact, no, that was the first one, I guess. The first one, and that was the second one. This is live when I did these pipes, but because I went a bit fast during the live, it was very rough, and now you see it's a lot cleaner in terms of gradients. This is all brush work, from the black to the green to the white. And so here I'm just, I'll show you. So that's my palette now. That's my palette. So I have my medium green, and this is my light green. The highest highlight will be greenish white from AK, diluted. So something pretty like this one here, for instance. So here I think I'll do something very simple. So first I will, you know what? Okay, so first I'll do the medium green and then the light green, just to reduce some areas where I find is a bit too rough. Hopefully, so I start with my medium green. Okay, diluted consistency for the paint. I'm just doing the edges. So for instance, here things a bit rough. So just adding something to make it smoother and more pleasant to the eyes. So it's not that hard now, because you see I just pull and send into the middle of the, so for instance, I want this area a bit darkened. I start on the highlight and pull in the light, well, in the green here. So in fact, if I had started more cleanly, I would not have to do that. And the 4 other here, I have been cleaner, and so it's not as fast, because many passes, well, many, it's all right, in fact, many passes of diluted paint, just glazing. So if you have the patience to do it, then you don't have to correct after. But because these were the first I did, it was a bit of, you know, trial, find the best method. But you see here just a few hints of paints here and there, because the work is already somewhat done. It's not a huge amount of work to get such improvement in the end result. So really worth it, instead of keeping something that is rough and up. Here we go. And then so that's more for the edges with the black. And then I will redo some of the light green. You see, so here, if my coat is not even, I can see some black underneath, some kind of dots like this, and looks very dirty. And so I just want something a bit more opaque, and so it will look cleaner. I'm leaving this area here. This is for the well, the first highlight, I would say. Not the white, but this kind of apple green you see here, working great for what we're doing here. Okay. Okay, something like this. You see, I'm targeting the black dots and just glazing. This is, look at the consistency here. Whoa, you see, very weak, but that's enough because I want smoother transitions. And to do that, it's one thin layer. You let it dry, and then you go over it once more. And so I think this is pretty cool. I want to show you this during the live because sometimes if you start to say you want to do gradients, you could imagine that you need 1,000 colors. In my live yesterday, I was using just this medium green. And so with one color on top of black, I showed how to do the first gradient. And now by kind of correcting, I'll also show you how I do the highlights. It's the same, but it's even easier because this green is very transparent. And so, I mean the lighter green, the apple green. And so on top of this medium green, wow, the blend is automatic. It's not a problem at all. Because I think, in fact, this is not too bad of a job I did here, so that's fine enough. And now maybe to the sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I feel it coming. Yeah, no, of course. How it's going. I keep it for later. Something like this. I keep it for when I will try to paint the eyes, and then boom, sneeze. Nice. Okay, here we go. Here's, you know, especially when it's seen from the front, I think it needs a bit more refinement because I want to have beautiful effect when you look at it. I want to see the greatness and not the, how to say, the roughness. That would steal and detract attention from what is great. So just try to have consistent quality. Although this is pretty quick, you see, I'm not, because this is diluted, so it has transparency, inherent transparency. That's fine, but for instance, this white here, I will have a pass of this kind of apple green on top of it. Yeah, this is fine, like this. Okay. Okay. This is pretty subtle, but really like the result here is smooth and pleasant, so that's really important. Okay, I think something like this, maybe here, a little bit of refining, just having that drop of very liquid paint at the right spot, and that would create gradients on its own. So for instance, this, I think, deserves some more work, especially on the front of the miniature. Okay, I think that's good enough, in fact, now. Okay. Just like this. Okay. It's all right. It's pretty fine. And then, okay, now the apple green, just to polish the middle section of the highlights. See, I didn't touch it with this medium green, and just go with the apple green. Ooh, yeah. So here, not that is something very obvious, but because I've seen it, I have to do it. Even if it's a bit rough, just something not as dirty is good enough. Okay. Feathering slightly. Shook, shook. Okay. Yes, it's better, right? Not that I have a precise objective in mind, just smoothness. I think smooth enough. And so now, let me check. Yeah, it's fine. So I take my apple green, so it's not called apple green, it's a scorpion green, so maybe it's something like a scorpion green, but really it's an apple green. Very diluted, and then I will just leave a drop here and there. Oop, so I want a bit strong, yes. Something like this, reinforcing this one. Okay, so because this is very quick, because most of the job has already been done. So now it's just a bit of refining. So here you see, I don't really see my first highlight anymore. So one drop, and that's fine. So don't need much. Like this, and that quick, you know. So here, no need to, I don't think it's necessary to take out the airbrush and stuff. Airbrush is great. I love the airbrush. But it's cool to paint with the brush too. I don't have to clean. I don't have overspray. I don't have to rub the model to protect it. I have perfect control. So that's really... In fact, at one time I was really using the airbrush as much as I could. I think it's because I could not use the brush as well as I wanted. And so it takes to just to say be okay to spend a bit more time on the miniature and learning to just be more comfortable with the brush. Yeah, here I think important. Okay, something like this. Oh, here, okay. Something like this. Let me check. I think it's pretty fine, in fact, right? It's not too much work because it has already been done, so this is pretty quick. Just tinting slightly is enough for the eye and the brain to see that, ooh, okay, I see the color, and so it's good enough. Something like this. I think it's really, I don't want to overdo it. It's not necessary, but here I find it's already better. Just at one place. Where is it already? I think there is one. Oh yeah, okay, here. I try to take some black. I have some very almost dry black here, you see, but that will be enough just for this spot here. Something like this. Maybe this as well. It's kind of a glaze, very light glaze. Well, it's not kind of, it is a very light glaze. And I think it's looking pretty cool. And then once I have done the white highlight, I think for this one it's done already. I don't need to redo it. It's pretty cool like this. I don't want to go to the white in everything because I don't want everything to be kind of symmetrical and calculated, and I want a bit of organic. How do you have a name for organic? What's the name for organicity? I'm sure it's not that. So I want the organic feel of the raw energy going through the pipes. Don't want the eye to the brain to spot. Although here 1, 2, so that's why this one is bigger. This is slightly inorganic, so but I will leave it as is. It's okay. And the rest I think is smooth enough. Like this. This is very dirty here, down here. Okay. I will correct it with some for the green, medium green here, just one dot. I don't know if you see that here, there, this one here, boom, this dark dot is making the whole thing look very, very dirty, while it is very easy to fix. So let's do it. You see it? Big blob of green, maybe a bit too much. Yeah, something like this, and that's enough. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, it's not dirty, it's clean. And so here we go up to the white. Okay. And now I'm watching out for all this dirtiness. So for instance here, even though it's not very obvious, but more water and a big drop of this paint like this will do very good. It's pretty translucent, so I'm just trying to leave the drop in the very center, you see, and have a big drop that is connected. I may have to redo the white at the very center of this, which is okay. I will do it on all the miniatures anyway, but it's very quick. So that's how I have done, for instance, this, which one? Yeah, this one, you see, I have no white, but it's already pretty smooth. So, and now let's compare the smoothness. Yeah, I think it's better everywhere. So we have a consistent quality paint job. Yeah, you see, compare these two, for instance. It's the same. So if it's the same, well done. And now to the white. Greenish white from AK. A little bit on the palette. Unmixed. That will just be a drop of very diluted paint. And you know what, for that, I think I will take the... let me think. Okay. I was considering switching brush. But in fact, I won't. I will just keep that. Something you see very diluted and like this. And boom, just one dot here. Just one dot like this. You see here, that's enough for the brain to spot the highlight. Here, that's a bit rough, in fact, but that's all right. Where else? This here, a little bit. I think this is because of the in here as well. Okay, pretty cool. So that was very quick because the higher the light, the less you put on. Of course, you want to keep your work, the work you have done already. So let maybe try. Boom, another pass, and boom here. Okay, so just one dot really is enough. Oops. But it needs to be at the right place. Oh, yeah. It's too much. Okay. I will try to weather the sides, the edges like this. If it doesn't work, I will just take some of that apple green, dilute it, and redo this. Work it on the edges of the white highlight. That will do the trick. Something like this. Okay. So this is done. Oh, let me do something maybe. Yeah, I think it's all right. I was considering having some white, a bit of white here and there, but I think it's fine enough. I like to have the attention here and there. Of course, the higher the light, the more it will draw attention. And so now it's about choosing where. Sorry, I have something. Oh no, it's okay. Okay, good. I thought I was required to do some kind of operation. I will still do it here. I have my white. I have one drop here. Boom. Okay, something like this. Asymmetrical is fine. It's what we want, in fact. Oof, that is way too much, you see. Okay, well, let's skip that. So not the best. No. Impossible. We'll weather that. Hopefully it comes off. Sort of. Okay. So now it looks like green. It's all right. I will leave it as is. I think it's done. It's a signal that this is done. So I have 2 done. This one, and let me check. Do I need some? Oh, it's this one. Do I need some more white on some of this? Oh yeah, maybe. Okay. Oops, not enough. Not enough is better than too much, so something like this. Yes, very gentle. This is fine, just reaffirm slightly. These two, it's pretty nice. Yeah, okay. See, just a dot, and that just brings the effect. And now I think this guy is looking cool. You see, I could even glaze this with, for instance, a very diluted coat of this kind of contrast green, just to even do even more differentiation. I think I will do it, but maybe later. So okay, 2 done out of them, and so now I have to choose. So definitely here is an area where by design it draws a lot of attention, and so let's reinforce that. This I could go there, but I don't want to do super symmetrical, so I may pass on this one. Maybe this one would be more interesting. Yeah, okay. Something like this. And you see the difference? Instant. You know what? Let me check. Yeah, I think this one deserves a little bit of white, very little here. Okay, something like this. And maybe here as well, yeah. So here I don't necessarily need to go 360 around the pipe. I think in fact it adds a lot of interest to not do that. That's cool. Feathering now, because you know what? If I don't like it, I just erase it like this. I think it was not what I wanted. It was too, you know what? I may change my brush. So here I use a big synthetic brush that is all right for, but you see the tip here? This is not meant for precision work, but for glazing like this, it's all right, until it starts to get pretty precise. And so now I take my, you say the work horse. Here we go. With a nice, you see here, strong tip, because I use the soap to condition the brush. I clean the soap of the brush before I use it. I don't need a sword to paint, just a nice tip. Now it's all soft, you see, but with the paint I can get my nice tip. And so I will be more precise. That's a lot better. Okay, let's go. So here, for instance, now I can do, yeah, you see, it's just day and night. This is just so easy now because I have the right tool. And so I let it dry and I will have another pass. In fact, I don't want to, I was talking about the good tip. Let me redo that. Yeah, okay. Okay, so here I will do something like this. Something very gentle. Okay, here and there. And you have this one. Maybe this one, you know, just to do something on this side as well, but something asymmetrical. And yes, let's go with this here. Okay, and maybe that here. Okay, I will let it dry. Here as well. Yeah, okay, interesting. So here you see my coat is not opaque under this green, so that may be a source of trouble. I'm trying to cover that with the white, and then I will correct it if needed with the, how to call that? Hi, Betty Boop. With the, how to say, the apple green, like my lighter green. Okay, let's get back to here. Yeah, I went a bit overboard with the white. It's okay. Just reinforce the center, and then I will come around with the apple green. Same for here. I think that's good enough. Let me check. Yeah, that's good enough, to be honest. Less is more. Yet. I will take my crappy brush. Difference is my good brush is a natural hair, like Kolinsky something, and my what I call my crappy brush is synthetic. Synthetic, yeah. And now it's a lot easier to put that light green on top of the white than it is to put the white on top of the white green. And so yeah, I went a bit overboard, but now it's getting corrected. The rest is fine. Even though not perfect, it's good enough. Okay, need to add something. Yes, and zoom in so I can get the model closer. Yeah. Oop. Yeah, okay. Sorry for the earthquake. Was just managing the zoom of the camera. Now, so here, yes, everything went overboard. So I have my medium green, and you see, trying to redo some of that medium green so that doesn't go from black to apple green. And at the same time glazing over the white. So I have to wait for it to dry because I still want to do some of that apple green here. Maybe I will stop. I won't do the white again. Maybe it was a bad idea. It's not quite working. Yeah, so this is fine enough. Now that's a lot better. I will zoom back in. Yes, you had a better view on the... Okay, something like this, that will be enough. Okay. So that is, so that's my better brush. Going back to the white. It's always like this, like thinking, oh, okay, that's good enough. And then seeing something is like, yeah, what if? Something like this, a bit of white in there. Because I think it lacks something here to bring attention. So I think here, in fact, could go very bright, brighter than this side. So the eye, because this is pretty distracting, in fact. But I want the eye to come back up here. So I'll do that, something bolder like this, boom. Ooh, you see, and then I will glaze around this very white part to bring back the gradient. But I wanted something bright up there. Unders is fine enough, so here I don't need, anything fancy. Here I have a good one. Here, yeah, I think good. That's a little bit. And on this side you have this one and this one. You see the kind of consistency, kind of falling in a crack of my skin here. Now I'm just wiping a little bit so I have less, and then I will use this very watery consistency to tint the edges of my white highlight. And it's working. In fact, a bit too much, but it's all right. We still have this brightness. Now I will do the edges of the medium green. Again, I need a pretty diluted consistency. We are almost there. I'll take my finer brush. I know exactly where I have to put this upper green. I have a dot here. Look at that. Yeah, just getting rid of the black. That is a symptom of uneven base coat, which can happen. That's kind of preventing me from doing what I want. I will reinforce the white again in the middle now. Yes, okay, I think it's good enough. And now again the green, medium green on the very side of the, I think here I have roughness. Now you see it here. Could go a bit. Oobla, my God. Sorry, little brush. I've been a bit rough with it. Okay, here we go. So now okay, the consistency you see, transparent, and enough to flow in the cracks. of the skin, and then here I will push it with the drop falling where I want the gradient to be reinforced. And now you see this is a lot more attracting the attention than before. Okay, I think it's pretty cool now. So I have a pretty wide white highlight that is pretty smoothly blended. Now that's a very thick coat of that green, just to make sure I have a good coverage. And I will finish with the last pass of this apple green. So this is really refining the point where I have picked this area to draw attention. So if it draws attention, it's better to refine it. Something like this is pretty nice. Now I have to feather quickly. You see I have a crack here, but I want to feather it out. Yeah, no, this is not a success. Let's do it again. So I've had the crack exactly where I wanted the paint. Somehow a very wrong move I did. Oh, okay. I will let it dry. I don't touch it. Otherwise, I'm going to do the same again. And so because when you have a drop of paint, the edges of the drop dry first. And so if you, while it's drying, if you continue touching with the brush, the edges of the round drop would dry, and you remove the inside, and so you have your dark and your a light circle, and getting back to dark inside. So it's just exactly what you don't want to do, but here in fact is all right. Okay, I don't know if you can see here. I'm tempted to do one last pass of the medium green. Here. Something like this. And now I think really cool. Sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it requires a bit more time. This was not smooth, but it has to be done, so okay, something like this. And you see this is a lot brighter than this, and so perfect. Even brighter than this, but this is brighter than this one. So have 3 levels of highlight, although it's not, maybe on camera, I don't know if it's super obvious, sorry, but taking the picture, oh yes, taking the picture, especially with a black background. And then, like I said, I could glaze. If I want to have this one even darker, I could glaze with some of this contrast green. Very thin down. But okay, this one is done. Cool. So that's 3 out of the 6. And guys, I don't know how long you've been following the channel, but that's many hours to get to there. And have my 3 here done, and this one's so what I have done is that I've painted the ones with the most cable first. And so if we look at this here, I think it's, oh yeah, this one we have quite a lot, but I won't be touching much. These parts here is good enough around this crystal because I want the crystal to be lighter. But one here for sure, and maybe here, just these two, or maybe one down there. You see less cable than the previous one, and the next one has even less cable. Oh, okay, here is pretty good. Okay, let me take my finer brush, and let's do it. Okay, just gentle touches. I try to do it, you know, the right size, the right intensity, so that I don't have to redo it with the light green again and again and again. But of course the white is pretty hard because it is not transparent. It is a big pigment, the biggest pigment you have in your paint range, and that's why everybody hates white. And so in that situation, if I want smooth result, you see the stain is very obvious. Although it's very diluted and very precise application. So this one, this one, this one, okay. Something like this. And this one here, okay. I need to reload this paint. I have too little on the palette. I will show you like this. And that's my tiny drop. I've used it already, but in fact I need just such a tiny amount. Oops, okay, a bit too much. It's okay. Okay, I'm preparing the white here. Okay. Loading on the brush. And you see this, I think, is a bit too wide. Of course, it's arguable, would you say? You could say, no, it's good enough and blah, blah, but I want to keep it pretty subtle and not too much in your face, so that the brain sees the highlights. Yeah, something like this is good enough. And then, yeah, this one, okay. Yeah, just a dot like this. Oh, yes, and the weapons as well. Oh, you see, so this dot is dreadful. I don't know if you see that on camera, but I will have to feather the edges. It's okay. It's a bit too wide. Okay, something like this. This is very, very bright now here. Getting with each pass of this white, of course, the coverage is getting higher and higher, but it's really not unpleasant, so why not? Let's have it here. And there. Okay. Right. That's enough. And you know what? I will finish the white and everything, and then do the correction with the apple green all at once. Okay. So here I did it on the right side to tell myself to rework it. And this guy now, you see less wires now. You know what? I can have one here. Okay, one dot. One here. Yes, okay. And here. And maybe there. Yeah. Oops, not diluted enough. This is just to break the monotony in all these highlights. So the highest light is not the same spot, and it really gives the sense of movement. So here I'm going overboard. Should be as clean as possible. Really, of course. Well, something like this, I think is cool enough. Bit more water. Okay. Very dangerous with the white. It's easy to make a big drop that will stain. Oof. Is it enough? Maybe. I feel I have to go for, let me check. Yeah, this one. And this will be here. Not on the same side, but I don't care. This just trying to, you know, giving this organic pulse. Okay, you know what I think is enough. So very straightforward, simple, and you see quick. Maybe it was like what, 2 minutes. And this last guy, you see very little pipes, and the bigger, so it's easy. Oh yeah, okay, this one definitely. Let it dry, and here as well. Pretty nice. This is working perfect. So just like I said, sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's not. This has been very smooth, and I think I won't touch it. It's just perfect as is. And now, oh yeah, in the front, yeah, I need one here. Oops. Maybe too much, but it's on the face, right to the face. So here, that's the main viewing angle of the miniature. So could have something here. So right. Okay, comme ça. Oh yeah, and here, very good. Ooh, nice. Cool. Here as well. Okay. And so the white, when it's wet, it looks very, very bright. But when it will dry, it will look tamer. Okay, something like this. Maybe here as well. This is just a tiny drop of paint, but it's enough to bring some more contrast, just reinforcing the contrast really. Let me check. Yes, that's pretty good here. Here is not good. We'll you see here, pretty nice fade we have. And I will just go stronger here, yeah, in the middle. And then I will feather the edges with my lime green. It's okay. And that's it really. Yeah, okay. And so now I'll take my bigger brush. So this I wash well my fine brush, especially because the white pigment it's just very, very bad for the brush. So I do this, you see, I don't really pull the hair at all, but I scrap it with my nail here. And so I know that this is pretty good maintenance for the brush. It will be washed in the water, in soap and stuff, but white, I have the experience that white is very bad for the brush. And when I say white, I mean paints that have a lot of white in them, all of them, whatever the color, green, blue, yellow. If there is a lot of white, then it's pretty bad. So here, okay, good. That's my apple green, a scorpion green here. Oof. Just erasing everything because the application did not work. Again. Okay, just smoothing. Smoothening? How do you say that? Smoothing out. Yes, okay. Smoothing out the... This is all right. It's pretty good, in fact. Let me check here. Here is all right too, to be honest. Yeah, something like this. It will be too much, but it's okay. I will survive. Oh yeah, here as well. It's pretty dreadful. You know what? Okay, that's all right. Kind of just glazed over it with the apple green. What else do we have? Okay, this is fine. This is... Ooh, okay, here. Down there. Okay, I think I will have to redo the white for this one. Oh, something like this. Okay. Oops. That's all right. Now going back to the white, just one drop, hopefully will be good enough. At the center of this stain here, I need one tiny drop. Okay, let's see when it's dry. Same for here. Okay, pretty fair. Same here. This I don't touch.